Hello, it's Jessica here from Fox's Knits. Welcome back or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today is my monthly check-in or my video podcast, and I will be sharing with you what I've been up to over the past month, things that I'm working on, finished objects, yarn additions, a little news from me towards the end, that kind of thing. So, plus I have an amazing giveaway for all my lovely YouTube subscribers, so do make sure that you stick around to see what you could win. As always, thank you for joining me today from wherever you are in the world. I am coming to you from Mangawhai in Northland, New Zealand, if you can't tell by the accent, where I live with my teenage daughter, my partner, and our pets, Jasper the dog and Primrose the cat. It's a really weird day here today, so I do apologise if the lighting's a bit all over the place. We've got pouring rain and sunshine all at the same time. If you haven't already, I'd love it if you could subscribe to my channel. And maybe you'd like to check out the rest of my channel for more knitting content just like this. Of course, if you enjoy this episode, please remember to give it a like. And if you'd really love to support my channel, which of course I would love if you could, you can shout me a figurative coffee via ko-fi.com, or maybe purchase something for yourself from my Knitting Notions boutique, foxesknits.com. And all the money that I make from these avenues goes right back into allowing me to make more content for you just like this. So that's housekeeping done. Oh, and remember that I include for you any show notes or links to what I've mentioned, such as patterns or products, in the description below, so you can check those out at the end of this video if I've mentioned something that you'd like to know more about. And firstly, before we get stuck in, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for the lack of content over the last month or so. I have so many notes jotted down for episodes and just not enough time to get everything done. It's a mad dash to Christmas for me with my business, and anyone out there who is self-employed will know you really have to make the most of it while you can, especially during these testing times. So December and January actually are pretty busy for me most years. It's a lot of people who want new branding for the new year, or a new website, or an updated website for Christmas shopping and things like that. So it's definitely quite a busy time for me. I've also been a bit sick, that I just physically wasn't able to focus on anything like knitting, which is just super sad, you know, like when you crook and you can't even knit. And yeah, I just realised how much I sound like I'm full of excuses, and apologies, team. Anyway, let's get into the podcast. I know you're hopefully all keen beans to see what I'm up to and to stop hearing me moan about stuff. So, finished objects. Here we go. The first one I am wearing right now, it is the Salvador Sweater. I will get up and I will show you a close-up of it. I'll put some footage in. Anyway, it'll happen. It'll be magical. So this is a recently released pattern by Johanna from Calibri by Johanna. And this was actually a test knit that I did for her. I was part of a group that answered her call via Instagram. So I do feel very lucky that I was able to do that for her. I have recorded this morning, actually. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've done it anyway. A proper finished object video for this sweater, as I do really feel like it deserves one. So, just to remind you, my chatty video podcasts, I kind of just touch over all my projects quite lightly, and then I do finished object videos for that specific pattern. So if there's something that you want to hear about in more detail, and I talk about it in great detail, you can watch that specific video. Otherwise, it makes these way too long, and I'm not into over an hour long podcasts because time is precious. Well, not that I'm not into it, it's just that, you know, if you want to watch it, you can watch it, and if you don't, you can just scoot past it. Anyway, where was I going? So usually I would take about 2 to 3 weeks to knit a sweater, but this just dragged on and took forever, and it was really, really painful. And not because I didn't enjoy the pattern. I loved the pattern, beautifully done, loved the stitches. I just hated the yarn. Combined with hurting my back and all of that kind of thing, I didn't really do this knit any favours. I kind of had to force myself to finish it. And I've never actually had an experience like that. So this sweater was knit with 100% baby cotton. And I used 7 skeins of this DMC baby cotton in a colourway called Gold. And I bought 8. Thinking I was going to run out, but I didn't, and I have 7, so hence why I have 1 here to show you in a nicely neat package. What I'll use it for, I have no idea. So I think that the reason why I hated it so much is just that there's no give to cotton. The end fabric that it creates is absolutely lovely, beautiful drape, and a really nice garment. But my God, the process, no. It hurts my hands. It felt like it was never going to end. It took so long. It took so long just to knit one row, and I was really losing all the love, and I'm really selling this to you. I'm very, very sorry. So the pattern is amazing. It was incredibly well written. A couple of little things were a little bit confusing in places, but those queries have since been resolved, I think, in the final knit. This is knit in pieces and then blocked and sewn together before you finish the neck. And I really love the texture from the half fisherman's rib. The pattern was very, very well written. A little confusing in places, but a lot of those queries have since been resolved through some feedback from the test knitters to the final pattern. And this is knit in pieces and then blocked and sewn together before you do the neck. I love the texture from the half fisherman's rib pattern. I think it looks really, really smart, and I really do love the colour that I chose. But I think that I might wear this a bit more as a neutral. But mind you, it's coming into summer, and it's a very summery golden colour. So as each section was knitted flat, I actually started with the sleeves and I knit them 2 at a time to speed things along. And this also meant that I had identical sleeves, which is always a bonus. Anyway, it's a lovely sweater that will be great for mid-season here in New Zealand. As I said, I've done a full finished object video on the pattern, so you can see that and watch it and see more about what I did, as I definitely have some tips and notes to share that with you if you're thinking about giving it a go yourself. So next, it's very cute. Next is a teeny tiny set that I have made for my brand new nephew. And as many of you already know, my little brother and his fiance, who live in Brighton, have just had their second baby. He was born at the beginning of November, so he's not even a month old yet. They have named him Bowen Fox, and I do like to think that he's been named after his auntie. Probably not, but we'll just stick with it. So I had already made him a few cute things, and I had showed them in a previous podcast with a sweater for his older brother Woody, but I really wanted to make him something else, and I picked up this yarn from, I'll just grab it here, from one of my favourite New Zealand indie dyers, Caroline from Yee Yarn, and this is her colourway Virgo. There we go. I won't show it too much. This is so bright and full of speckles. Oh, just stand up with this sweater. This is her DK weight. Look at it. Look at it. It's so cute. It's just a little cardigan. So this is her DK weight, and it's a superwash yarn. It is super practical for baby knits. And I based this on the Petite Knit Ellen's cardigan, but really it's just a basic baby raglan cardigan. I don't actually think that I used any of the things that make it her, and I modified it quite a bit anyway. So one of the things that I modified was doing a twisted rib on the sleeves and everywhere else that there was ribbing. I can put that there. I just think it looks so much tidier and smarter, and I also actually knit the buttonholes into the front ribbing to make life just a little bit easier for everyone. It just keeps things really tidy, and I also slipped, I'll just show you here, I slipped the first stitches of the edge because I'd made this cardigan before for Woody and didn't do any of those things, and really wish that I had done. So it just keeps the edges of a cardigan really clean and tidy, and I don't know why it wasn't part of the pattern, but anyway, I've done it. I also left off the 2 front pockets like I mentioned, and I did that last time as well. As cute as they are, they just add way too much weight for washing and drying, and babies don't have things to put in pockets despite being ridiculously cute. So I was really worried about running out of yarn, which is why I added in some of this black colouring to do some colour work spots and stripes, just to pad things out a little. It was just some black yarn that I had tucked away in my stash, so I have no idea what it is, but it did the job. Anyway, other cuteness. So I had the smallest amount left of the yarn. Like I literally had like 1.5 meters. So I made these little socks, and I made them in a black 4-ply yarn, and I used the Perfect Newborn Socks pattern, but I just did them as plain stockinette. I don't know if you can even see them because they're black. But anyway, I just did them as plain stockinette stitch for the sake of my sanity, and did like a little bit of a rib round the cuff. I also made 2 tiny pom-poms for the toes because, oh my god, they're so cute. So anyway, I added them to the socks, and I actually had such little yarn left that I divided it in 2 before making the pom-poms. But yeah, how flipping cute are those? I'm going to I'll hold it up with it all together. So cute. I'm actually going to have to get this packaged away today or tomorrow so that I can send it off in time for them for Christmas. I actually think that we've missed our Christmas cutoff here for couriers in New Zealand. I think that it was like the 17th of November or something like that. Such a shame, but I'm hoping it'll arrive in time. Anyway, I won't have time to do a finished object video on this, but I have linked in the description to the pattern and my Ravelry project below. I'll just show it one more time because it's just so cute. It's so bright. I love that colour. If you can see that there. So many speckles. Right. We'll put that away. Because next up is yarn additions. And I have a ton of yarn, and it's hugely embarrassing now that I actually come to think of it. I have treated myself a little too much, and you will laugh. Anyway, firstly, Caroline from Yeah Yarn in Dunedin, she set up her very own yarn club type subscription thing a couple of months ago, and of course I was keen beans to support her. So she created 2 mood boards that you could choose from. I forget what they're called, I'll find out and I'll put them in. Anyway, there was one that was quite a dark toned moody one, and another one that was much lighter, and you could choose from each of them, and what you get every month is a surprise. I went with the lighter one, which is filled with spring colours and pastel tones, and each month for 3 months you are sent skeins, and like I said, they're a surprise yarn that are based on the mood board that you've chosen. You can choose your own base, and I went with her 4-ply base and just the 1 skein. But you could choose up to 3 skeins to be sent to you each month. And this is my first, oh, it's got stuff on it. This is my first one that I've gotten. It's so gorgeous. Look at it. It's called Flamingo Heart, and it has been inspired by an image of a really bright flamingo. And if I can find the flamingo photograph, I will put it in here. That would look really cool if I can find it, eh? Hopefully. So, next, I also have some more yarn from Yeah Yarn. I was so worried that I might run out of Virgo for Bowen's cardigan that I got myself another one, and I ended up not using this one, so I'll tell you more about this later on, but spoiler, this is going to be the giveaway, or part of the giveaway, so make sure that you watch the end to see how you can win some goodies, just for you, my beautiful channel subscribers. So, this colourway, this next one, is called SJW, and it is her 100% merino 4-ply superwash base. And how gorgeous is this? So beautiful. The colours are just really stunning. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this one. I just knew that I wanted to have it, and I will just have to make something really, really fun. I love all the dark colours, and in here you can see a little bit of brightness in there. Really, really cool. So next I got 1 skein of peyote, and this is an 80% merino and a 20% nylon blend in a 4-ply. So it's kind of like her sock yarn. I think that this is definitely going to be some socks. So yeah, this skein is packed full of fuchsia, purple and greens, which are just so great together. So nice. And I also bought 2 skeins of her new colour Clem, which is not only the name of one of my favourite celebrity dogs. If you follow Illustrator Awards for Good Boys on Instagram, Shelby has a dog named Clem, but it's also this amazing colourway. So yay. But I did just have to have this. I really, really did. I did buy it with a specific project in mind. It really wasn't just a random yarn impulsion. So this is an 8-ply DK weight yarn, and it is an 80-20 merino and nylon blend, and with this one I'm actually going to make myself a witching hour sweater, which is by designer Hannah Mann, and I will use this for the main feature colour and pair with a plain black for the main part of the body. I have some black I was going to show you, but I forgot to pull it out. So it's such a great design, and I totally can't wait to start making this on and off over summer. I'm giving myself a really, really long time to make it because I know it'll probably take me quite a while. It's so hot here in New Zealand in summertime, having a sweater over my knee. I just don't know how long it's going to take to make it. So my last yarn additions, I am so excited to share with you. So these were such a splurge of a treat for me, and I'm just going to show you. So yay! I bought myself 2 special skeins from Brooklyn, New York based dyer Geraldine Yang, who is the endless talent behind the Wandering Flock. I first saw Geraldine featured in an interview on Christy Glass Knits channel. Hello, Christy. And I just thought she was so lovely, and I just thought what she was making was incredible. And of course, she created beautiful yarn. She actually talked about, in her interview, she talked about buying her first yarn from Spotlight stores, which we have here in New Zealand. And I actually used to work a weekend job there when I was still in high school, and most people have started with, you know, in Australia and New Zealand and Singapore, buying yarn from acrylic yarn from Spotlight. Anyway, I just thought it was just such a, I just felt really connected. Anyway, I loved her story, I loved her aesthetic, and the colours that she makes are just so dreamy, and I knew that they would be even more beautiful in person. And of course, I wasn't wrong. Anyway, but as you know, I'm pretty much the furthest away from anywhere in the world, being in New Zealand. So whenever I buy anything from overseas, the shipping is pretty much the same cost as the product itself. So it took me a while to bite the bullet, but I did. She did a recent shop update, and I bought myself these 2 skeins. This one is Cosmic Tie-Dye. It is a 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon sock blend, and this will become 100% become the most amazing pair of socks that I'm going to make for myself. And let's just appreciate this for a moment, because it's just so nice. I love her packaging too. A really nice bit of branding. So yeah. And the other skein I chose for myself was her birthday ice cream. It really is indie dyed yarn perfection. It is beautiful. This is a fingering weight superwash merino single ply. It is so soft and dreamy. Look at those speckles. Can you see those? So nice. You could literally just eat it. You can't, but you could. Well, it looks like. It's just the most beautiful dreamy colour. And because Geraldine is such a sneaky little sweetheart, she actually put in an extra skein, which was really, really lovely, which was so nice. It's an extra skein of birthday ice cream. So now I have 2 skeins of birthday ice cream, and that is about 730 meters of this beautiful yarn. So I'm definitely going to have to work out what I'm going to do with it, and I think that I have to make something for myself. Sorry everyone else. And, oh, check it out, cute. Temporary tattoo in with the yarn. Very cool. Yeah, so very cool. And thank you so much, Geraldine, for making this beautiful yarn. I can't wait to cake these up and start using them. So what else? I guess it's not really a yarn edition, but I did also grab myself a copy of this previous issue of Pom Pom magazine, which I bought from Holland Road Yarn in Wellington. And I know that there's a new issue that's just come out, but it seems that we get everything so late down here in little old New Zealand that it's so much more expensive due to the postage that we're charged. I used to actually have an online store of my own back in the day, and I would stock Frankie magazine, which is from Australia. I used to sell their magazines and books and diaries, and often the postage would be almost as much as the products. It was absolutely insane. I still love having print though, and I think that yeah, well, clearly, I mean, I published my own magazine, Gather magazine, if you didn't know already. I was an independent magazine publisher for just over 2 years, and I wrapped that up probably about a year ago. It was too much for one person to manage and a full-time job, so, well, another business, so I made that call. Anyway, print is not dead by any means. There is nothing like having a tactile printed object that you can flick through and have in your hands. This is such a great issue. I particularly love the Delphinius, I think it's called. I'm just trying to find it. The Delphinus sweater. Here it is. I think it's amazing. So slouchy, so good. I really loved this Naya scarf as well. Geometric, beautiful. Really, really cool. And these socks. Celestite socks? I don't know if you say that right. I definitely think that I'll be making some of these in the not too distant future. So that leads us straight into whips. Well, we say plural, but really it's only one. So one of my whips is also a yarn edition, so we'll have to start with that one. I usually wait to cake up my new skeins until after I've done this filming so that I can show you how they look and talk about them. But I just couldn't wait. So this is Beluga by Yeah Yarn, and it's on her Sock It Up base. It is an 80% merino and 20% nylon. I don't know if you can see that there. It's got like little bits of neon yellow. It's kind of like a lilac-y purple with speckles of blue and neon yellow. It's very, very beautiful. I am making, well, look at this little sock. It's too, I was hoping to have some more done to show you, but it didn't happen. So I am making, they're called fur socks, F-I-R. I'll put a little thing down there. So they are by Melody Hoffman, and they are so beautiful. They use this really interesting slip stitch that creates this sort of, I don't know if you can see it there, but those like little V's, like chevrons almost, I guess. Anyway, it's really, really simple and very, very effective, and it's definitely probably one of my favourite patterns to do. I think it's really, really cool. Obviously I haven't done much of these yet, but I am hoping to have them done in the next couple of weeks. I actually bought a few of her other patterns when I bought that one, so I'm really keen to get through some of those. I especially love her Into the Woods socks as well. Sorry, I just had to get some water. I'm talking too much. I've done too many episodes today, and I'm just too much. So I am still pressing on with my plain black sweater. I'm not even going to show it to you because it's a total waste of time. And I've only added a few inches since I last showed it to you. And let's face it, that's not interesting. It's also black and plain. So you can't, it's really hard to show you. So I'll be honest, team, I've actually lost a little bit of that knitting mojo as of late. And it's not that I don't enjoy it, because I absolutely do. I just think that I've been getting a serious case of the knit guilt. Like I said before, I just don't have time to, well, not, that's I have so much to do with running my business and producing the work, especially when you're the only one that can produce the things that get you paid. So, you know, and then there's running a household and making sure Grace has what she needs for school and running the store and doing this content and, you know, all I want to do is just sit down and have a bit of my own free time so I can work on stuff. But I really feel like I've stuffed up the work-life balance over the past few months, and I should know this because it's always like this at this time of the year. And I do need to make hay while the sun shines, so to speak. I say that while it's raining. Anyway, I'm hoping that there will be times in the not too distant future where I can actually sit and knit without feeling all of that guilt. I don't know if you guys have that when you want to sit down and you can just think of all of the things that you should be doing instead of sitting down and knitting. And I know that I shouldn't feel bad about it, and it's my time, and if I'm there and I'm doing my thing and I'm just having a bit of me time, the rest of everything is so productive, and I'm so much more productive when I'm well rested and feel recharged. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. Anyway, on a personal note, what I do have in the way of news, well, we went up north last weekend to a place called Sandy Bay. It is just above Whangarei on the Tutukaka coast in Northland. It was one of our friends' birthdays, so we actually booked a house with a whole bunch of us to share, and it was really lovely. It was so good to have a break like that, and we had some really intense games of petanque, lots of good food and heaps of good catch-ups, so it was really good to recharge. So now it is time to share my giveaway. So, as you all know, I did a little giveaway to celebrate the launch of my online store over on Instagram, but I really wanted to do something here for my lovely viewers, as without my viewers I wouldn't have any of that other stuff, and yeah, I just wanted to say thank you. I love reading everyone's comments, and I really do appreciate all of you watching what I put out there. I know that my style is a little bit different to most of the other knitting channels out there. I guess, I don't know. I'm not the norm. So I have decided to gift this extra skein of yarn that I purchased from Yeah Yarn to one of you, because sharing is caring. I will also pop in a few surprise treats from the store, such as stitch markers and whatever I fancy, as well, so it won't just be the skein of yarn, although beautiful yarn, well, lovely to have this as a standalone giveaway. So disclaimer, this giveaway isn't endorsed by YouTube, it's not been sponsored by anyone, it's just because I wanted to do a giveaway, and this has been paid for partly in contra and partly in my money for the skein. So yeah. And Caroline said that I'm allowed to give it away if I don't use it, so that was really nice. So just to recap, this is an 8-ply DK weight. It is 100 grams, which is approximately 188 meters of yarny goodness. It is in the colorway Virgo, and in case you can't remember, this is what it knits up like. Bloody cute. And you could make all kinds of things with this, or add it as a feature colour for another project that you're working on. So how can you win? Well, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel and comment below with what you'd like to make with this beautiful skein should you win it. And you must be a subscriber to have an eligible entry. You can't just comment with what you're going to make. You have to do both of those things, and I will be checking. The giveaway will be open for 2 weeks from the date of publishing this video, so make sure that you check out the description below for exactly when that will be, plus all the other terms and conditions and everything like that. So this giveaway is open globally as well, so do not let your location stop you from entering. If you can get post from New Zealand, you can enter. I will be posting it to wherever you are. So good luck. I can't wait to see what you want to make with this beautiful yarn. I will choose a winner based on the project that I think would look the best, and that's all. Yeah, it's not a random one, it's just what I think, so I can't wait to see what you will do. Anyway, of course, I would love to hear from you regardless, if you're not so keen on the giveaway and just want to let me know something that you're making or what you think of what I've made. That's all good too, so So team, as always, my bigger chatty video podcasts are once a month, and between times I'll be sharing my finished object videos plus knitting know-how and other goodies, so be sure to check out the rest of my channel if you've enjoyed this one. If you've enjoyed this episode, please make sure that you give it a like. I will be sharing with you my Salvador Sweater finished object video very, very soon, so make sure that you subscribe to know when that episode is loaded. So thank you for being with me here again today, and I will see you again soon for the next episode of Fox's Knits. Happy knitting!